You got a funky shape? I want to check it out. That sounded really weird. Yes, this one is called the 424 SIKVOL CM.2. I don't, again, no idea about the title, but the funky shape, the two shape that I just love this shape, no question about it. It's basically a 424 like it says in the title, but it'll be interesting to see what our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in our championship side of Ipswich Town. But this one was tested and created with Manchester City, so I mean they pumped through the league 103 points, 144 goals. I'm going to assume Erling Haaland just had a stellar career. Yep, looking at the thing, it says 83 goals out of 60 appearances, so it's actually pretty down. It's probably the lowest we've seen Haaland get, but Haaland is an absolute cheat machine. But we are going to test it out with our three teams and see how they did. We're going to jump into the Premier League right now and check it out. Well, Liverpool first. We've seen that time and time again, no question about it. 98 points, so a little bit down from Manchester City's. I think I said 103. 139 goals, just a bit shy of the 144 that I mentioned, I believe, again. But looks like this is a fantastic attacking tactic for Liverpool and some of the top teams. Aston Villa coming up to fifth. Now, 78 points is about average for what we've been seeing lately. 80 goals is actually maybe a little bit down from what we've been seeing. So Aston Villa is always the true test. I know I've got Liverpool and Aston Villa with the same tactics bumping heads to head, but it'll be interesting to see how Aston Villa's stats look. But with that, we're going to start with Liverpool's stats. Let's jump into their schedule. Well, unfortunately, Liverpool lose out in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals to their bitter rivals Manchester United. And they also lose out to the FA Cup final to Manchester City after beating in the semis Aston Villa. But that 0-2 FA Cup final is just a doozy. However, they do pick up a second trophy of the season against AS Roma again in the Europa League final 1-0 after beating Galatasaray, Brighton, and Benfica. Perfectly unbeaten run. Gotta say, that's pretty good. So overall, Liverpool topping the table. We've seen it time and time again, but still a fantastic trophy to see. Winners of the Europa League, runners up of the FA Cup, quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. I mean, these two, yeah, okay. Squad wise, still a lot of green, so there's that. 28 goals for Nunez and Jota, 27 for Salah. Very well done. 24 assists for Trent, 23 for Salah and Gomez. Wow, Gomez getting in the mix and even getting 4 goals. Yay! An average rating, Nunez, though, is the 7-4-0 along with Joe Gomez. Aston Villa's domestic cups, well, funny enough, they come head to head against Ipswich Town using the same tactic, and they kick the crap out of them 5-2. Way to go. Carabao Cup final, that's trophy number 1. We've seen them lose out in the semis to Liverpool, so unfortunately they're not there. But another perfectly unbeaten run against Fiorentina in the Europa Conference League final. You get trophy number 2, Fenerbahce, Lille, and Sporting. Well done. And with Douglas Luiz sent off in the 4th. Ouch. But overall, Aston Villa in 5th place, it's fine. I'm not going to tank on their parade, but we've seen them higher. Winners of the Conference League is fantastic. Winners of the Carabao Cup is fantastic. Semifinals is still a pretty good place to be. Beaten out by Liverpool using the same tactics, so I can't fault them there. Squad wise, yeah, they're down on the greens, no question about it. But 23 goals for Diaby, who sticks around this time around. Well done there. 14 assists is the top, interestingly enough. The love is spread around. A lot of players in double digits, but 14 for Digne is the tops. And then a Boubacar Kamara at 713. Data hub for the two teams. Liverpool, again, we've seen time and time again. Fantastic attacking side. Dribbles there as well. You got some fantastic team defending. 3.66 goals per game is insane. Conceded per game is 0.66, 0.8 XG against. This is a really well-defined team. Aston Villa showing the same signs that we've always seen on the negative. Goals per game is just not there, but everything else, I mean, non-penalty expected and shots per game is very well done. 2.11 goals per game, 1.18 conceded is actually not too bad for Aston Villa. 1.13 XG, again, not too bad. Premier League stats, Liverpool 2.58 points per game, Aston Villa in 4th with 2.05. Most goals, though, Liverpool in 1st with 139. It's a fantastic job. Man City all the way down in 7th with only 67. Something happened that year. Aston Villa, though, in 4th with 80. Fewer shots against, Liverpool in 1st with 241. Aston Villa in 6th with 347. Most possession, 53% down to 51% for Liverpool and Aston Villa. Most dribbles made, Liverpool in 1st with 728. Aston Villa in 7th with 635. Best pass completion, Liverpool in 8th with 87%, so not too bad. Most shots for it, Liverpool in 1st with 720. Aston Villa in 2nd with 609. But now, what about Ipswich Town in the championship? Yeah, first place yet again. 138 goals is pretty phenomenal. 101 points. Yeah, I mean that's coming the average now for them. So, but still, well done season. Domestically for Ipswich Town, unfortunately out in the FA Cup third round in the replay against Brentford. They did okay in the away leg, but unfortunately at home they couldn't pull it off. We saw them get to the Carabao Cup final and losing out against Aston Villa. 2-5 is a harsh one, but who knows what they would have done if they came up against any other team. We've seen them win the cup a few times this time around, so I would say very impressive. But it's always the championship for them, especially lately in the past 2 or 3 weeks. They're coming in first. 101 points is a phenomenal result. Third round of the FA Cup, but Carabao Cup runners up, yeah, that's pretty nice. And as we always see, only about, 7 in the green. But 28 goals for Hurst. He's finally picking it up again. Assist 27 for Leif Davis. There we go. The two are back at it. George Hurst with his 728. Leif Davis with a 721, as does Ali Al-Hamadi. Championship stats, Ipswich in first with a 2.20 points per game. So actually it's a little low, seemingly. But most goals, Ipswich Town in first with 138. The only one to break 100. Very well done. Few shots against in fourth with 379. Most dribbles made in seventh with 713. And most shots for in first with 800 flat. So, this funky 4-2-4, let us take a deeper dive into it. Sweeper keeper in defend is where we start. A wing back on the left in support, a fullback in attack on the right, with a ball-playing defender both in between, a Sigurd Volante in attack, and then a CM in support. You got inside forward in support on the left, and inside forward in attack on the right, advanced forward up front, next to a pressing forward in support. And again, if you want to take a look at who these mark specific positions are, let me know and I'll kind of revisit and let you know. It's balanced mentality though. In possession, attacking with his narrow approach play pass in a space, underlap on the left and the right, and focus play down the left and the right. Passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, step up more, and invite crosses. But now, how did it do for our three teams? I mean, for at least Ipswich Town and Liverpool, who are consistently getting tops or at least thereabouts, it did very well. No question about it. 101 points is a little bit lower than what we're expecting from them nowadays. Wonderfully enough, 138 goals, though, is a fantastic result. And then as we take a look at Liverpool and Aston Villa, Liverpool, again, 98 points. We've seen them, well, that's about average nowadays. 139 goals is phenomenal. But Aston Villa is kind of where the question mark always is. This time around, we've seen tactics where they've done phenomenally attacking-wise and poorly defensively. Well, this time it's switched. Defensively, they did a pretty good job. Attacking-wise, not so much. So sitting in fifth, I'm sure if you took control of this, did your own match changes, transfers, shouts, things like that, you could bring this up a bit. I mean, they are tied with Manchester City in fourth. They're only 4 points away from Arsenal in third. I'm sure you could do something to boost that up a bit. But right now, we're pretty much looking at an average set of sides. And it's kind of where they've been lying for most of the tactic talks for the last couple of weeks. But that is it for me, Savvy FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.